Our 20th year of the business now. Got in when we were 38 and I'm 58. That's the only thing bad I know that's happened. I aged. But in the process, I have been one that's done what I've encouraged people to do. That's read every day. I read every day. Every time I'm in my car, I've got a cassette player playing. That's been my university on wheels. And virtually every night I listen to a cassette tape. And I'll turn it over 2 or 3 times when I wake up or need to go to the bathroom or something. I just come and flip it over. I used to have one that ran continuously and about drove me crazy. So I just got one that stops and cuts off, and then I'll cut it back on, flip the tape and cut it back on. But I'll keep the tape usually in a tape player until I think I've mastered the information on the tape that I think is worthy of the time. And having read virtually every positive thinking book there is, seems to have any merit, and listened to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tapes. Any tape I ever heard before, I'm going to share it with you right now. And it's, to me, it's profound. And I'm going to try to make it simple so that we don't have to get complicated in trying to understand it or explain it. And I hope it'll make sense to you. Because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a brain surgeon. I just happen to be a person that's solved these economic problems the old-fashioned way, by hard work, you might say. But see, America's really an equal opportunity place to be unequal, isn't it? Isn't that what the free enterprise system is? Why do some people choose to be unequal and some above the line, so to speak, economically with a better lifestyle, and some below the line? You ever wonder about it? Well, I have a lot. You ever wonder why people get in and don't do it? I have a lot. And I've got good news for you. I believe if you can understand this one thing, you can change your whole life, your whole direction, and be what you want to be rather than what circumstances seem to be pushing you towards being. The only difference between someone that wins and someone that loses, and someone that breaks the laws and someone that follows the laws, and somebody that excels and somebody that does reverse, somebody that overcomes and somebody that never even thinks about it, the only difference is this computer up here that God gave us. The only difference, when God made human beings, He made them with a computer up here and gave them free will. Now you see, He knew some things we were too stupid to do. He wanted us to survive so that we could use our free will. For instance, suppose that He didn't have it so that our heart beats automatically. We'd have a mess if we had to remember, because it has to beat about 70, 50, 40. Mine at rest is 40, 41, 38, something like that. But I walk 10, 20 miles a week. You wouldn't know that right now, but I do a lot of exercise, a lot of walking. And so my heart rate's down real. In fact, they can't believe it. Usually check me 2 or 3 times. But most people about 70 times a minute. Heart has to beat. And if you get excited, you know, it beats faster than that. If you exercise, demand's higher for energy, for oxygen and nutrients in your system, so it's higher. And just suppose for a minute that everybody in here, that God said, I'm not going to fix it so the heart beats automatically. That means when you're born, your mother or somebody have to stand over you and do whatever it is to make your heart beat. Ever so often. That'd be a mess. She couldn't even go fix you something to eat unless she'd have to take one hand and hold you and beat you. But she's got to beat her own heart. So she's got to go, wherever the kid is, Huh? Everybody tried in here right now. Just suppose we all had to do this while we came here this weekend. Yeah. It'd be a mess, if somebody had to bring an ambulance in and somebody died and said, oh, he got too excited and forgot to beat his heart. But anyway, now, God, He knew a lot of things. He knows everything about us, of course, and He knew that you see, our eyes blink automatically. Have you ever noticed it? Yeah, see, they just did. They got to blink so many times a minute. And if you didn't blink them, they would dry out and go blind. And God knew you needed to see, so He knew you too stupid, and I was too stupid to blink our eyes. You know, half of us in here would be blind already and say, what's wrong with them? They forgot to blink their eyes. Got so busy beating their heart, they forgot to blink their eyes. And then he knew we'd forget to breathe. If he didn't fix it automatically, we'd forget to breathe. We would. We'd get so busy beating our heart and blink our eyes, we'd forget to breathe. We go around like this all the time. I want to make it. And then he knew that we needed to keep a body temperature at 98.6, so he put a thermostat in our computer up here to maintain that temperature exactly perfect. Now, suppose he didn't do that. We had I don't know where he put the knob, maybe over here close by so you could hit your heart. You just imagine a guy one time, you know, messing up and twisting the knob too far and went 108.6. Ambulances came in, took him out, obituaries. He set his thermostat improperly. Man, it'd be hard to stay living. It'd be hard to live, wouldn't it? It'd be hard to even shake somebody's hand. In fact, you couldn't even go to sleep at night. You had to wake up. Afraid you're going to die. They did a little study on some horse races not too long ago and found out the horse that was winning the most money one year, in fact, the horse wound up winning over $1 million that year. And so they took all the races the horse was in and found another horse that was in the same races, identically the same race, of all the same races the horses won, that the winner was in. And they found out that a loser horse that was in the same race with that won about $75,000 that same year, according to the study, that this other horse won over $1 million, that the only difference was 2.5% in their speed. 2.5%. But one barely paid its keep, time you paid the trainers and all the hay that it eats and converts to something else and everything, and found 2.5% difference. There's not that much difference. Well, and that could have had something to do with the trainer, with the rider, or with other people. It's 97.5%. Horses were the same. So the other 2.5% could have easily been other circumstances rather than the horse itself. In fact, the only difference in us, if we win or lose, is really the way we're programmed up here. Now, if we happen to be programmed because we have a negative expectation, which means too many negative associations and experiences, then we develop a negative expectation. And it's pretty difficult to overcome if people don't understand what they really are. You know, there's a few things you got to get squared away, and we're going to cover all the bases this weekend because we want everybody here to make it. We don't want anyone to fail. We want whatever your dreams are to help you have them come true, because we want you to have an honest dream, one that's for real, that's accomplishable through this business. So in reality, there's just isn't that much difference. Now, we can make decisions to fail or succeed. We can make decisions to do nothing or do something. We can make all sorts of decisions with our free will. All this stuff below here is, everything down here, all this stuff just serves the direction of this brain, with one exception, and the mouth. This thing right here, extremely powerful, in fact, unbelievably powerful. In case this thing is not programmed right, from what we take in from all of our parents or brothers and sisters or peers or friends or teachers or wherever we happen to go, whatever goes in this computer stays in there. You can't get it out. Once it's in there forever. There's no way you can get it out. It's absolutely in there forever. Since all this is servant, because you can't say, okay, Elbow, is it okay if I make some money or succeed? It's just never going to answer you. Now, where do you think? Where's the thinking? It's in the heart of you. Where's the heart of you? Right up there where your soul and your spirit live. Not down in this part right here. It's right up there. And then we got to have faith. Faith is the ability to believe something that doesn't exist, that you believe will exist. If you work, and that's what your works are the resultant of your works is a physical thing that comes into being because you had the faith when it didn't exist, and you went ahead and made the effort and worked because you believe it would exist before it did exist. And that's what the resultant physical thing is that other people can see, is the fact that you had the faith when no one could see it but you. That's why man without vision shall perish. Got to see things before they are. Got to believe things before they are. And then, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, I'm going to say some things up here, and I want you all to help me a little bit and see if you got what I'm talking about here. Because, see, we do have the power through the spoken word to overcome. It's like somebody can say, I can overcome. I can do this thing. I can find out what needs to be done, and I can do it because I believe it. It's a fine thing to do. I got all the whys you need. One of my whys is, I just don't want to work for somebody else when I can work for myself. One of my whys is, I want to look in the mirror and see the balls. One of my whys is, I do not want to have a limited income where I top out when I'm a young person. I don't want to have to depend on other people to decide what I'm worth. I'd like to decide what I'm worth by my own productivity. I'd like to have an unlimited opportunity to be productive. The why is very important. And once you got the why, the next thing you do is say, I can do this, so I can get my whys. I can do this. That's what I said years ago. I never believed I couldn't do it. I believed if it could get done, I could do it. I believed if anybody else could do it, I could do it. Nothing special about that. I just was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Did you ever talk about money and think about money? I'd like to get it where money doesn't control me. How about you? That's one of my whys. Huh? So what America provides here in free enterprise system, capitalistic system, is the right to use this computer. Use your free will. So I define success as what you are versus what you could have been, based on how many people can be affected in a positive way by your life. You maximize that. If you can do 5 things that are good here and 50 things over there, you shouldn't let these 45 things go undone. Let the 5 things and get to 50. Amen? You maximize your life. You don't minimize your life. That doesn't mean that you can't take out plenty of time to play. I believe you're supposed to take out a lot of time to enjoy life, to play, to store up energy so you can put out energy. And get rid of stress so you can take on more when you do things. And get rid of it again and take on some more. Sort of grow with it. So, here's I just want to go through some things here with you just a minute and see if they make sense. Okay, now I want you to do thumbs down if you see that it's wrong, and thumbs up if you see it's right, what I say. I'm going to say some things, and let's see if we can agree. Now, make a moan or a positive or something. Let's see how it comes out, okay? Okay, I don't have enough time. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm just right. I don't have any education. I know enough. I can do whatever it takes. I can pay the price. I don't need to quibble. I can do this thing. I can go diamond. I can look in the mirror and see the boss. I can bring my family closer together. I can create more friendships. I can serve my fellow man. Sounds better that way, doesn't it? Huh? Now, how many people have you ever heard say, I'm too busy? Well, that's about one of the most stupid things a person could say if they're busy failing. Isn't that right? Now, most people that are very busy that are failing, what have they got to do? They got to get around some new people, some new information. They got to get around some new ideas, haven't they? They got to get around somebody that's doing something, haven't they? And if they want to do something, they got to find somebody doing something and associate with them. Amen? Garbage in, garbage out. Anybody here work with computers? Okay, I got right here's a close one. What happens if you put the wrong information in the computer? Does it somehow get in there and get right? It's wrong all the time until it's corrected, isn't it? Now, you can correct a computer, can't you? Okay, now here's the problem. Once you put it in wrong here, it's in there forever. On this computer, which you can put everything into it every day you want to, each day. You can get up the next day and put everything into it you want to. You can get up the next day and put everything into it you want to. It never forgets any of it. You do that week after week and month after month and year after year, and it's still in there today. You can't take it out. Your computer is so far beyond anything man ever made that he calls a computer. There's no way that this little space, that any man could do anything in this little space to hold this much continuous information, plus digest it, plus keep it for retention, plus make it a composite so you can bring it out and pull it all together so that what you say is what you are. Hello? And when junk gets out there, like people used to think the earth was flat, say, yeah, the earth's flat. Everybody believed the earth's flat. Even Columbus thought it was going to be. Well, he figured it maybe it wasn't. But most of his people thought it was flat. They kept looking out there where they were going to fall off the edge. Wanted to turn back. That stuff, the wrong stuff gets out there. But here's the key. A winner always blames himself so he can go back and make corrections and do something about it. Now I'm going to show you how to do those corrections. A loser always blames something or somebody else. It's my boss. It's somebody else. You can tell it in this business, can't you? Somebody fails, you want to blame their upline. They forgot they had an upline. You know, there's always somebody doing the thing right. Somebody's lying, cheating, stealing, there's somebody that isn't nearby. All you got to do is reach out for them, and they're there. Hello? What do? You help yourself by helping others first. You have a win-win situation. How long have we wanted a win-win situation where you can't win unless you help someone win? Most businesses out there, someone's got to lose for you to win. You may say, I feel good. They didn't lose too much. But in this one, for you to win, you got to help somebody to win. Your winning is based on first helping somebody else to win, not seeing how many people you can help to lose. You see. It's got every angle, no matter where you look at it from. It's got it all beat. You don't have to have a lot of money. You live anywhere. And you got plenty of help. Just the question is, what about this computer? Is it an I can or I can't computer? If it's an I can't, you can change it to an I can. All power that man has is in one place. Guess where it is? The spoken word. You got the power of self-condemnation or the power of an unbelievable future of overcoming and becoming and never reaching a plateau and growing from step to step in your life by the power of the spoken word. All this stuff is nice, but it's just to serve and get this computer where it wants to go. Now, if I want my computer to go over there so the eyes can take something in to record my computer, I can just direct it. I can direct the computer, make my legs take me over there, and my computer can say body, can send the signals down, spinal cord and where it goes and everything, right? And all of a sudden, I have to take my computer over here. And then I turn and look, and I got a different angle. It's recorded in there forever. It may not be significant, but I can remember it if I had to later. The way it has a way of slotting things that are significant that you're going to use a lot and have them there for instant recall. We'd be a mess without this computer, wouldn't we? We wouldn't even know if we were alive. Am I making any sense to anybody? Now, what you hear is powerful. What you experience is powerful, but what's the most powerful thing is what you say. Because, see, when you say it, guess what hears it? You're programming your computer the way you want it to be, not the way someone else is trying to make it. Amen? Now, in society, someone can use a put down and say, we're better than you because of the color of our skin or because of our education or because of where we were born and what part of the country we came from or whatever they want to devise, but it doesn't hold a bit of water in it. I can do all I can do, which is humanly possible that I can understand and do, and that's to program my computer into the I can mode rather than I can't mode. I can do it! If it's a good thing to get done, can be done, I can do it. If I want to be free, I got to do the work. That's the principle. All the laws work the same for people that work them the same. If I do nothing, accomplish nothing, no productivity, power and might doesn't go to work because I didn't take authority over where I can take authority and use the power that I have in a spoken word and go get the job done verbally so that I can physically go get the thing done. I got to do it in the unseen before I do it in the seen. It's all right up there. You are either your worst enemy or your best friend. We looked and tried to find the enemy and found it's us. By what we allow to be programmed in and what we speak out in terms of limiting the unlimited. If you got hate for somebody, it's going to be a barrier in your life. Your ability to love self is going to determine your ability to love others. When you think the least of yourself and expect nothing from yourself except status quo, and you think through yourself you haven't got the ability to overcome and become, that you're stagnated in everything you'd really want to do, that you can't make your dreams come true, that you're a miserable excuse for a human being that the world tries to make people think for whatever reason. When we can't have this self-love, we can't have other love because the self-love is prerequisite to the love of others. And the love of others is based upon your ability to have the dream and to work hard, knowing before in the spirit that the physical is going to show up because you believed it before it was. Hello? Is it making any sense to anybody? Not just words? Huh? Do you know what? If we could snap our fingers just like this and this whole country immediately would do unto others as you would have them do unto you, you know what? All this inhumanity to man would stop, wouldn't it? Now maybe we might accidentally run into somebody on the highway or something, but that's not on purpose and still have to have rules there to get by. But we wouldn't have to worry about locking our doors. We wouldn't have to worry about someone trying to steal our wife or our husband. Y'all see where it is? It has to happen there. You tell me where else it happens. Huh? Tell me. Anybody yell up if you know some other place it happens. It happens right there. That's where your self-image lives. That's where your self-love lives. That's where your ability to overcome lives. That's where everything that you need to fail or succeed lives. Right there. You know, you can buy some lousy computers. You can buy some of high capacity that do more work and everything. Kids even get little old computers they can play with. So, that's why if you make that decision and you start claiming it, and you start walking it and talking it and breathing it and eating it and all the way and associate with people that are doing the same thing, it just seems to, all of a sudden, it just seems to fall in place. Unless you go by the stinking thinking. Why do we call it stinking thinking? Because it comes from a stinking thinking brain. They got garbage in there. Amen? All you got to do is put the garbage in there. It isn't just words, it's things. It's everything. It's anything. Now let me ask you something. That's why you got to make a decision in your life. If you don't make a decision to do what ought to be done, then you're automatically going to do the other. The negative is automatic if you don't make a decision for the positive in your life. Don't tell me you can't, because you can. You can say it right now. I can do it. I can do it. No question about it. I've got an abundance of what it takes. And if I need more than what I got, I know where to get that. I can get the job done. I ain't quibbling about the price. I'll pay the full price. I don't care what other people do. I mean, I may care, but I may not have any control. It's me that I must love before I can love anybody else. So I can get on with living. This is America, free enterprise, and I got a right and I'm going to use it to create the freedom that I'm entitled to. You hear about the wife that every time before she cut the ends off the ham, before she cooked the ham, she cut the ends off. And the husband said, honey, why you do that? It's good ham. You're cutting the good ends off. And she said, silly, my mother did this ever since I can remember. So next time they were over at her mother's house, he said, hey, Mom, why you get ends off the ham when you cook it? She said, of course I do. And said, why? Because my mother did, silly. So I went over to the grandmother's house one time for Thanksgiving or something. Grandma, your daughter and your granddaughter both cut the ends off the ham before they cook it, and said that you did. And she said, of course, silly, I cut the ends off the ham. He said, why? She said, because the pan's too short. When you got a dream, you should expect someone trying to steal it. If they're not, you haven't got one. Huh? Hello? Is that? You should expect people trying to put you down and judge you and belittle you because you're attempting to be something you haven't been, which is better than what you were, and that's called overcoming. Because you see, when you make it, other people have to make it, and so you're a target. If they can stop you, look at all the people they can stop from ever knowing some truth that you can share with them. Because you can't share your love with them. But everybody in here, whatever scars you've got in your life, the way you help heal your scars and not let them be festering wounds is to help someone else heal their scars. That's your therapy. That takes love of your fellow man. And everybody's got the capacity in here to do it or not. It's your choice. I advise you sometimes when you're driving your car, you're at home by yourself and people won't think you're crazy. Say several times, I love me, I love me, I love me. Because what you're saying is, I can love someone else, I can love someone else, I can love someone else. I like me, I like me, I like me, I like me. The world may say you're too tall or too short or too fat or too skinny, but you can say, I like me. If you need to change something, I can change it. Now, I've lost 40 pounds. I needed to change it. It was okay when I was younger, but I did it with this. And say what you want to do. Say, I can overcome, I can overcome, I can overcome. I know that I can find people that can have a big enough why, just like I have, that will get out there and take their energies and do something about it. And will learn these principles of success and apply them personally because they're universal to all people, not just for some people. I can do those things. I can do it. I can do it. In fact, it's a done deal. That's it. Period. And with that, I would say I enjoyed telling you. I hope it makes sense to you. Because what's our goal in here? I got in business to make money. In fact, I had a job so I could make some money. Didn't make much, but I had a job so I could make some money. If they didn't pay me, I would have done it. You got in business to do what? Make some what? Money. Well, let's make some money. You believe you can make more money working for yourself than somebody else, right? Why? Because here you decide what you're worth. There they decide what you're worth. Now, if you get in this thing and fluff it up and don't work for yourself, then it means probably you're not working for somebody else either. You're just bodily there. Slough off one place will slough off in another place. And if you are, you take authority over it. How do you say it? You say, I'm going to quit being a slough off. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to produce. I'm going to pay the price. I'm going to do exactly what it takes. I expect myself to do that, and I accept nothing else other than that for myself. I'm moving on. I'm making things happen, and that's the way my life is from here on out. I'm not stuck with what I was, because what I am and what I'm becoming is better than what I ever dreamed of being to start with anyway. That's why I'm overcoming, to overcome what I am, to become what I haven't been, which is better than what I was. You can change everything, because all of your power, all of man's power that directs all of his energies is in his words. Isn't that great? That means we can all speak the truth. We can all overcome. We can all create friends and friendship. And isn't it a shame that this is the first time many people in this room I know have ever heard this? Isn't it a shame that you have to wait to this point in life? And you know who can change that? Only you and I can. Because if we get enough parents in, they can teach their kids real early. When their kids say they can't, you say, hold on, son. Yes, you can. Let me tell you why.
While the techniques and approaches suggested may have